Imagine being dragged through a narrow stone corridor. Your hands are bound. The air is cold, damp, and smells of rot. Somewhere in the darkness ahead, you hear something moving, scratching. You try to see where you're going, but there's almost no light. A door opens, heavy, wooden, reinforced with iron. You're pushed inside. The door slams shut behind you. And then, silence. No trial, no explanation, no release date. Because in the Middle Ages, prison was not a place where you waited for justice. It was a place where people disappeared. And for many, death would have been the better outcome. Today, we think of prisons as places where people serve sentences. But in medieval Europe, prisons had a very different purpose. They weren't designed for long-term living. They were holding places, temporary, or at least they were supposed to be. People were thrown into prison while waiting for trial, or punishment, or ransom. But the system was chaotic. There were no standardized rules, no guaranteed timeline. Some prisoners stayed for days, others stayed for years, and some were simply forgotten, locked away in darkness, with no one checking if they were still alive. Most medieval prisons were located deep inside castles or beneath city buildings. Dungeons, stone rooms with thick walls, designed not for comfort, but for containment. Light barely reached these spaces. Sometimes the only opening was a small slit in the wall. Other times, there was nothing at all. Complete darkness. Imagine living in a place where you can't see your own hands, where day and night feel the same, where time disappears. After a while, prisoners began to lose their sense of reality. Sleep became irregular. Thoughts became confused. The mind started to break long before the body did. Food in medieval prisons was not guaranteed. Prisoners depended on whoever controlled the prison. Sometimes guards provided basic meals, bread, water, maybe thin soup. Other times, food depended on family members bringing supplies from outside. If you had no family, or no one who cared, you might receive nothing. Hunger became part of daily life. Weakness followed, bodies grew thinner, energy disappeared. And in extreme cases, starvation became the silent execution. Sanitation did not exist in medieval prisons. There were no proper toilets, no cleaning systems. Waste accumulated inside the cell. The smell became overwhelming. Rotting straw covered the floor. Damp walls grew mold. Rats moved freely in the darkness. Fleas and lice spread quickly. And in these conditions, disease thrived. Infection spread from one prisoner to another. Open wounds became dangerous. Even small injuries could turn fatal. Prison wasn't just confinement. It was exposure to constant decay. For many prisoners, the worst part wasn't the cell. It was what happened outside of it. Interrogation. Medieval justice often relied on confession, but confessions were not always given willingly. So methods were used to force them. This included physical pressure, pain, and in some cases, torture. The goal wasn't always truth. It was compliance. If a prisoner confessed, the process moved forward. If they didn't, the pressure increased. And once a confession was given, even under extreme conditions, it was often accepted as fact. One of the most terrifying aspects of medieval prisons was uncertainty. There was no consistent legal system across Europe. Local lords, city officials, or religious authorities controlled justice. That meant outcomes varied widely. Some prisoners were released, some were fined, some were executed, and others were simply left behind. No records, no hearings, no appeals, just time passing in darkness. History contains accounts of prisoners who were forgotten entirely. People locked away during political conflicts, servants accused of crimes, debtors who couldn't pay. Once inside, their existence slowly faded. Families moved on, communities forgot, and the prison remained silent. Years later, guards might open a cell and find nothing but bones. No name, no story, just the remains of someone who had been erased. Many prisoners were not just locked in rooms, they were restrained. Chains attached to walls, iron collars around the neck, shackles around wrists or ankles. Movement became limited. Sleeping was uncomfortable. Sitting was painful. Standing for long periods became exhausting. These restraints weren't always used for punishment. Sometimes they were simply used to prevent escape. But they added another layer of suffering to an already harsh environment. In these conditions, something changed inside many prisoners. Fear slowly turned into something else: acceptance. When hunger, cold, isolation, and illness lasted long enough, death no longer felt like the worst outcome. For some, it became a release, an end to the darkness, an escape from the waiting. This is why many medieval accounts describe prison as worse than execution. Execution was quick, prison was slow. Escape from medieval prisons was extremely difficult. Thick stone wall, heavy doors, guards nearby. But it wasn't impossible. Some prisoners bribed guards, others managed to break weak points in walls. A few escaped through hidden passages or poorly secured doors. These stories became legends, but they were rare. For most prisoners, the door that closed behind them never opened again. Medieval prisons were not designed to rehabilitate. They were designed to control, to isolate, to intimidate. The fear of prison alone was often enough to influence behavior. People knew what awaited them: darkness, hunger, uncertainty. And that fear became a tool of power. Yet even this level of suffering, dark cells, hunger, disease, and isolation, was only one part of medieval punishment. Because for some people, prison was just the beginning. What came next was public, painful, and meant to be seen by everyone. Crowds gathered, executions became spectacles, and justice turned into something far more terrifying. Because in the next episode of Medieval Nightmares, we'll uncover the brutal reality of medieval torture and why it was used far more often than most people think.